there everybody, hope your day is going well. To Creative with Old School Gaming here, and welcome back to another Thoughtful Thursday. Now, as you can tell from the title, well, I'm going through the subreddit of I do work here lady. Yeah, I do have my own story, and, I'm going to make mine a happy story this time. So without any further ado, let me shift on over here and get into this. So, let's start with this one called Actually I Do. Okay. So it starts with cross-posted because I didn't know about this sub until a lovely commenter directed me here. Okay, fair enough. I was at Target one night, around 20 years old. Sweatpants, university t-shirt, carrying my purse, just browsing with my roommate. Two girls are shopping down the aisle. One of them looks directly at me and asks, "Ma'am, could you see if any more of these?" I couldn't even respond. I just stared at her with my mouth open, confused as hell, because actually I did work there. At Target, at that exact store. I was just in shopping on a night off. The girl's friend hit her and said, "She doesn't work here, you idiot!" and dragged her friend away, who's now staring at me awkwardly too. I was still just standing there gawking, wondering how in the world she could tell, or if she just got lucky. Well, honestly, she may have seen you there before just doing shopping otherwise, and then recognized you, and then went, "Hey, I recognize you. You work here. Can you help me?" Without even realizing that you weren't dressed for work that day, or that night, whatever time it was. Honestly, that could have been just a simple mistake of, like, "Hey, I recognize your face. I'm not looking at your clothes, I'm just looking at your face." Yeah. So, let's move on to the next one. Finger clicker. Oh, God, this one's probably gonna piss me off. I hate it when people snap their fingers at me. I'm not a dog, jackass. Anyway, let's get into the story. So, I spent over 20 years working as a flight attendant for an international airline back in 70s, when most people just better tan today's passengers and also behave better too. I think he meant to say better than. We were on a daylight flight of about 7 to 8 hours and had just finished collecting the meal trays to put away before we did a bar service. This was on B747 Jumbo, every seat occupied, so it took a while to complete each service. I was with a female attendant in one aisle, and in the other aisle, two males operating the cart. In an aisle seat a few rows behind one of the guys, a 20-ish girl looking more like a Barbie doll, in her pink tracksuit and blonde hair and large sunglasses, started snapping her finger in the air, signing out, "Hey, I want a drink now." Oh, hell no. You're cut off then. At least that would be my reaction. The guy, a gay attendant who had previously been a cabaret performer, started snapping the fingers on both hands, did a little dance, stepped down to the woman, singing the George and Ira Gershwin song from Girl Crazy, I've Got Rhythm. Honestly, I don't know that, so I wouldn't be able to put that in my mind. But I have seen, certain episodes of Scrubs, and there was, like, I guess you could say West Side Story of, surgeons versus doctors, and they're doing that snapping thing, just dancing down the hospital hallway. So I can kind of picture it, but not in the exact I've got rhythm thing. Until he got to the girl. He said to her, "You know this song is from Crazy Girl, and if you wait a few more minutes, we'll be down to you for your order." As he walked back to the bar cart, still snapping his fingers and singing, there was a big applause from passengers in the area. When he reached her again, she refused to order a drink, but a couple asked for another song, and to rub salt into the girl's wounds, he sang the tap dance, "Barbie Girl" for them. A lot of applause before continuing to serve drinks. Oh, hell yeah. That is how you deal with a rude customer. Just completely make fun of them at every step of the way. His response when we were back in the bar storage area was, "Stupid bitch, I have more rhythm in my big toe than she has brains in her head." We got a laugh out of it, and the girl didn't say another thing to anyone for the rest of the flight. Hell yes. That's the deal, so when you shut them the hell up and make sure they don't bother anyone else, whether they be flight attendants or air marshals or any passengers. Wow. I love that one. I love that for you. Okay, so this one's going to be an extra long one. It's called Never a Dull Moment When You Are Off the Clock But at Work. Also essentially on break or just clocking out for the day. So I posted to this to another thread of I don't work here because my bake behind didn't pay attention, but I have one for off the clock. Okay. I am a flamboyant queer. Bright punk style hair, I stand out. I also live nearby, and there's nowhere else to shop, so I have to shop at my work. Small town, probably. Customers who know me and see me going on break, I'll make jokes to about. I put on my incognito jacket and no one will recognize me. Okay. I have customers who have a hard time with English, and know I will help them, and I'm pretty good at figuring out what they need and working through the lack of words they have. I have customers who know I know my way around the store or know who to ask. Yeah, fair enough. That definitely tells me that's more of a small town place, where it's just everyone knows everybody, and just, hey, you are here, you know everything, well, nearly everything, and if you don't, you'll be able to tell us who does. Yeah, there were some people who, when I was working the frozen department at Walmart, would ask, hey, I'm looking for some frozen thing, I can't find it anywhere in the frozen section. I'm just, okay, well, that's most likely in the meat section. They'll go, why is it in the meat section? Because it's in the meat section. Not everything that comes in for meat section is refrigerated, some of it's frozen. Not everything that is frozen comes directly just to the frozen department. Meat department has plenty of stuff too. Yeah, I'm going on a bit of a rant. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. One lady who needs a motorized cart knows I'll always find her one, and even if I'm in street clothes with my bag headed out the door, she'll stop me and ask if I know where any are, and go halfway across the huge parking lot to get her the scooter her kids or husband could have gotten for her. I'm too nice. Yeah, unfortunately being too nice can definitely, bite you. Oh. Unfortunately, this means if they know me, they know I'm helpful and will stop whatever I'm doing to help them. Well, I rarely pull the I'm not on the clock card, but the other day I did. This should be good. I just clocked out, coming out of the employee bathroom from changing into my street clothes. I see a guy looking lost. Now, I'm in a grocery store, behind those double doors that clearly say employees only, and no grocery store anywhere lets anyone pass those doors. This man is about to walk into the cooler, and I thought, maybe he's a delivery guy who's a bit lost. So I asked him the worst thing I could have. Can I help you? Okay, seriously, who the does that? Because that seriously pisses me off. It's like, employees only, let me just walk right back here and find someone. Just, dude, pull your head out of your ass and read the sign that clearly says employees only. Which means, if... Oh, dear gods, I'm stuttering. I'm so pissed off about people doing that. Because just pull your head out of your ass and don't do that. He goes on to say there's no more watermelon. I tell him he has to go to produce and find an employee who's on the clock that can help him. He proceeds to yell at me that he was just over there. I cut him off and repeat that he needs to go find an employee over in produce that can help him. I cannot. He then tells me to go find an employee for him, and I go back and forth with him, repeating that he needs to leave the employee-only area and go find an employee on the clock and out on the floor. He has to pass deli as well as bulk food to get to where I was, so he had people he could have asked. Tunnel vision. It's just absolute tunnel vision and idiocy. Sometimes you just have to look at some people and think, really? That's the sperm that won? He finally left in a huff, but bro, you don't get to come into the employee area and yell at people off the clock to do things for you. That's how not stuff works. Had he not immediately started yelling at me, I would have walked him over there to show him how stupid he is, as he probably just didn't see they were moved to a different table. Found that out later. But also happy I didn't get in trouble for treating an old man like the toddler he was behaving like. Right? Yeah. And then there's an edit. If anyone here wants to come after me to helping even off the clock, F off and take it elsewhere. No one is suffering because I give up 30 seconds of my time to help people. They know me, recognize me as me, and often don't look down to see if I'm in uniform. Yeah, just like that previous story, they see your face, they know you, they know that you work there, and they know that you can help them. Clearly, I hold my ground when they break rules. It's not the end of the world for me to point them in the direction of an aisle or send them to an employee who can help them or grab a stupid cart. I'm not making things harder for my coworkers. Wait, is that what the comments section is saying? That you're making things harder for your coworkers? No, actually, you're just making things easier. You're saying, hey, go that way. You're just pointing in a direction. Like the aisle of coffee. There's an entire aisle dedicated to nothing but coffee. And people still ask, where's the coffee? Really? But yeah, you're definitely not making things harder, and you didn't say that it was a small town, but it definitely gives small town vibes that, hey, everyone recognizes you, and all the regulars shop there, and you even said that it's the only place in town to shop. So, yeah. Okay, so, this one's definitely a bit of a shorter story, just called A Weird Story. So for context, I work at an arts and crafts store, and as someone who is majoring in arts and has a hobby in arts, I tend to shop there as well. So I was already clocked off, and me and my mom and I, actually, were shopping, and I decided I want some new Copic markers. My bosses don't mind that I take the keys to unlock the cabinet they're in, so I do so. Now, the uniform is typically a red shirt or a vest. However, the thing is, when I go to put them back near the registers, a lady asks if I can help her, and I just kind of freeze up on not knowing how to respond. I wasn't wearing my vest, just khakis and a jacket with an anime t-shirt. Thankfully, my coworker behind the register offered to help her when I was just about to respond. I probably would have said, I do work here, but I'm off the clock, what can I help you with? But I was just so stunned. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the fact that you weren't in uniform. Maybe this person saw that you had a bunch of keys on you, and typically, especially in different grocery retail or whatever stores, people who carry around a ton of keys are the ones who can unlock different doors and cabinets and whatnot. She only saw the keys and just figured, oh hey, you must work here since you have a huge amount of a huge amount of keys, if I can say things without getting tongue-tied on things that aren't even tongue twisters. Okay. One more story, and then I'll move on to my own. This one has actually a pretty long title, just as I work in big box stores, servicing displays and assisting staff. I have a large ID badge I wear on a lanyard that clearly says who I am and what company I'm with. Apparently not having the tiny visitor sticker means I'm not authorized after over a year working at the same store. Okay, this should be interesting. On this particular day, I was assisting with poll by going around to check lanes, gust services, security, etc., and collecting spider wrap and keepers to put on this new release that was selling as fast as we could get it off the truck. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, so something is selling super fast and you're trying to... Oh, spider wrap, the security spider wrap thing. Okay, fair enough. It was hectic and I was doing my not quite a jog speed walk, carrying a hand basket filled with security. Guest services had a long line and all 4 registers open, so I just slipped past them, knowing where they kept the spider wrap. I was loading up my basket and someone grabs my shoulder and spins me around. A manager who I have worked with before and should know me is berating me for cutting the line, going to an employee on the area, show my ID and say I am an employee, and try to explain what I'm doing. She continually talks over me and insists on calling security. She's now standing with me next to the register. She's closed her register to focus on me. So now only 3 are open, line is getting longer. After several minutes, security shows up, looks at me and the spider app for less than a second without acknowledging her, just tells me to hurry back to tech, because they have been calling that they need security and I've been calling on the radio asking what's keeping me. Security didn't even speak to her. Sadly, this wasn't the last time this happened. You know what, instead of me saying it, let's roll the Dilbert Principle clip. The Dilbert Principle is, people of low value are moved to places where they can do the least amount of damage. Management! Unfortunately, some people become managers just so they can flaunt their power around and tell people what to do. Yeah, and that is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, not a lot of people who would make good managers actually pursue management. It's the people who pursue management so that way they can get that power to hold over people are the ones who become managers. And honestly, the absolute best manager I ever worked for was someone who was offered the position, denied it, but then was eventually convinced to become a manager. And yeah, he was the absolute best manager I've ever had the pleasure of working with. So, onto my own story of I do work here, lady. I do want to keep it a little bit shorter. And, I want to have a good story. Because technically, on this particular day, I was working. And I was working at Wall Hell. And, yeah, working Wall Hell for 3.5 years definitely leaves plenty of scars on the soul. And I don't know the exact number of days that I worked. I mean, I worked there for 3.5 years, and technically I was part-time, but there were plenty upon plenty of weeks where I worked 40 hours or sometimes more. And yeah, the math would just be too difficult to figure out how many days exactly I worked. But on the days I did work, every single day, and I do mean every single day, someone would have to ask, "Do you work here?" Obviously, yes. How many people do you know wear a name tag recreationally? For a short while, I looked down at what I was wearing, because, the full Walmart getup, name tag, hell, I even had a radio, I had a box cutter. Yes, obviously I work here. And I just looked at them and said, yes, how can I help you? That only sufficed for a short while, because if I didn't come up with something soon, I either would have lost my job or gone postal. Honestly, a 50-50 chance of either way happening. Eventually I came up with just telling people, nope, I chased the guy down 3 blocks to get this outfit. And the thing is, most people laughed it off and just went, okay, yes, you've got a good point. I had 2 people actually walk away from me, and I'd just stand there stunned, because I'm just... Literally, I said, nope, I chased the guy down 3 blocks to get this outfit. They just went, okay, and walked away. I stood there in stunned silence. Just, wow. Are you really that stupid, or can you just not take a joke? Seriously. Yeah, a good handful of people would get all defensive, as if I just insulted them. Well, sometimes the vendors stock the shelves. I would look at my clothes, look back at them, and say, they don't dress like this. Because, at least at Walmart, probably other retail stores too. I found out from people who worked at gas stations that vendors don't stock the shelves there at gas stations, but at retail stores they do. And yes, sometimes vendors stock the shelves, but they do not dress in the same uniform as, say, Walmart or Target or whatever the hell else is out there. Then, after, hey, how can I help you? I would help them, and yeah, more than happy to help, because it's my job and it's what I'm getting paid to do. Now, this one particular, day, someone comes up to me and says, oh, well, they asked the question, do you work here? I looked at them and just said, nope, I chased the guy down 3 blocks to get this outfit. And they say, oh, yeah, look at her dress. Look, good point. We were wondering what the price of this was. So the customer had grabbed something off of an end cap shelf that hadn't actually had a price put to it yet. So for those of you that don't know, in retail there are the aisles that hold pretty much everything, whereas the end caps will feature either brand new product or extra product that they're wanting to sell more of. And it's usually a feature depending on, well, it might depend on what stock comes in or maybe the time of year. For instance, around the beginning of the year, there'll be those healthy microwave frozen meals, and I have to put healthy in quotes because, god damn, so much goddamn salt in those things that you eat one of those one time, and you won't have to have any salt in any of your food for the rest of the goddamn week. That is your entire sodium intake for an entire week. I might be over exaggerating a little bit on that. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Back to the story. So the item that they had grabbed wasn't in the department that I was working, but it was down an aisle just a couple feet away. And I even said, hey, that item is usually stocked right over here, just inside this aisle. I walk 5 feet and say, here's the item where it's usually at, and here's the price of it. And after I was able to help them, they even looked back at me and just said, hey, it's a good thing you chased that guy down 3 blocks to get your outfit. And yeah, it made me laugh, and I don't know. I think that might have been the only good customer story, unless I can actually think of another good one. 3.5 years, one good customer. Although there might be another one I'm just not remembering because it wasn't as memorable as, oh, do you work here? Oh, good thing you chased that guy down 3 blocks to get his outfit. Okay, so, let me get into the comments, because, yeah, there's definitely been quite a few since my last Thoughtful Thursday record. Let me find them. Okay, so we're starting on, Wild Wednesday 13, which, that was the Super Mario 64 iceberg personalized copies and stuff. Thing is, that was done on Steffi Cush's video. And Steffi Cush here comments, hi, it's awesome to see someone go through the vid and take a closer look at the points made. You pretty much get the gist of it. I made it as a reaction to the proliferation of fake news. It's essentially a thesis statement on how misremembering can ultimately give way to misinformation. That actually makes a lot of sense, especially given just how out the wall the theory starts going, especially towards the end. It stops being about Super Mario 64, starts becoming about creepypastas and urban legends and just what the hell. Nothing makes sense anymore. That does make a lot of sense. Okay, then we have a Yoshi fan leaving a comment on, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Episode 2, Meeting Greg, saying, very cool series. Hey, yes, I absolutely agree, and glad you like it. Well, yeah, just give a bit of grace to that series, because I had no idea what I was doing with editing. It's been a learning experience, to say the least. Hey, at least Super Mario 64 gets better, then First Gen Pokemon, it reverts and then gets better. Just because of what order I've been recording everything. Okay, so, I believe a new subscriber, Blue Thunder, commenting on Wild Wednesday 12, the negative energy of Wet Dry World, saying, I really like these Wild Wednesdays, just subbed. Hey, excellent. Thank you for that, and thank you for subscribing. Yeah, unfortunately, the Wild Wednesday, only once a month, because Wild Wednesday and Thoughtful Thursday once a month, because I've got so much stuff to take care of in the real world. Yeah, I've got a lot to do. Okay, then we got Sasame Fuma. I really hope I pronounced that right. With a comment on Pokemon First Gen PokeTalk 3, starting to think ahead, saying, just got to this episode. Great content plus subbed. Hey, excellent. Thank you for that. And yeah, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, give a bit of a grace to the first several episodes of First Gen Pokemon, because, yeah, there was so much I had to learn, so much that I messed up on. It does get better, I promise you that. Although by the time this video comes out, and you're hearing my shout out to your comment, then yeah, maybe you're already past that point. But even still, to anyone new, yeah, it takes a little while because, well, like, at the risk of repeating myself, there was definitely a bit of a learning experience for me. Right. Going all the way back to Intermediary Vlog 1, and so it begins, there's some game suggestions from Snorlaxer, which honestly you don't have to go that far back. You can leave a game suggestion pretty much on any video, and I'll take it into consideration at least. So Snorlaxer's suggestions, yes, some games I'd like for you to do someday. Pokemon Gen 2, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Stadium 2. That is definitely something I would do in the future. I don't know exactly when. I have to finish recording, let alone uploading First Gen Pokemon. Then I'll have an actual timeline of when Morrowind can begin and other stuff beyond that. Yeah. Yeah. So, Pikmin or Pikmin 2? Okay, I know the Pikmin dude from the Wii version of Smash Bros. Let me look up Pikmin. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Pikmin is a real-time strategy and puzzle video game series created by Shigeru Miyamoto and published by Nintendo. Huh. And it looks like Pikmin 1 and 2 have been re-released for the Switch, which is, well, behind me. Oh, no, you can't see it with the angle of the camera this time, but yeah, I can definitely play that. I mean, I don't know if it's a re-release or a remake, but, I mean, hell, it'll be easier to play that way. And hell, made by Shigeru Miyamoto. Yeah, I would definitely love to check that out someday. Let's see, what's your next suggestion? Okay, Pokemon Gen 3. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Leaf Green, Fire Red, Colosseum, and XD. This would be a huge project you could do. Yeah, okay, so beyond Stadium 2, there's no plug-and-play emulation for the Pokemon games. So, like Colosseum and XD, those would probably be a separate series from, like, the core games. Then Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Okay, yes, definitely, Castlevania definitely a series I would love to play someday. And as well as Luigi's Mansion, which you suggested. Yes, I would definitely love to play all those games someday. Thing is, like, right now, I mean, hell, as I'm still grinding everyone to level 60. Yeah, it's definitely taking a while. And honestly, I have been thinking about it. I know last Thoughtful Thursday I said I might do an Intermediary Vlog 4.5 and upload some Morrowind episodes until I can have more Pokemon. But honestly, if things come down to the wire, and, well, for me personally, coming down to the wire would be, oh crap, I have 2 more weeks of content left, and nothing else, then I would definitely start rushing things so I could get to a certain point and have more videos. Which, I've got plenty of content right now, and yeah, it's just that every single week is a week closer to what I've already recorded. But, as I was saying, if I actually do come down to the wire, I would use the missing no glitch in Red and Blue to just feed everyone a ton of rare candy, get everyone up to level, and get going. The good news is that Red and Blue are pretty much ready to rush right now, if I so chose. Yellow, not quite, almost there. Probably by the time I record the next Thoughtful Thursday, Yellow will be ready to rush, but I still would want to get everyone to level 60, just to make the grinding later that much easier. It's definitely been taking a while, and it's gonna take a while longer, I'm sure. Let's move on. So again, we have a Snorlaxer on Pokemon First Gen episode 25, and that makes 3, saying another great episode. Hey, thank you. Then, yeah, obviously a new subscriber, Chris Lee on First Gen episode 25, and that makes 3, saying, I'm your 50th subscriber. Hey, excellent. But Mike, I have a question for you. Were you hanging around just so you could say that you're the 50th subscriber? And I kind of wonder if someone else is hanging around watching my sub count just to say, "Hey, I'm your 100th subscriber." Oh, hell, at least you're here. And hey, hope you stick around because yeah, there's a long ways of first gen Pokemon to go. I mean, hell, right now, yeah, like I said, right now with oh no, I said that on Wild Wednesday, but yeah, we're in with my uploads. Let's see, everyone is getting to Celadon City, and hell, that means the Rainbow Badge is coming soon, and also, after the Rainbow Badge, the next Stadium Series gets to start up, where I'm going through, because there was the Pika Cup, then the Petite Cup, now the Poke Cup. Yeah, that's going to be coming, well, fairly soon at least. And then Wei Chun, also on Pokemon First Gen episode 25, and that makes 3, saying, Tobiyume has been surprisingly helpful considering its low stats. Yeah, well, most people have low, most of the Pokemon have low stats, just because they're, well, all uninvolved. Except for Mew. Mew is just an absolute tank and handle anything and take pretty much any hit. And then, it was, First Gen PokeTalk, Pokemon First Gen PokeTalk 8, backtracking to move forward. Well, the top fans were the first ones to comment on there, saying, first, Snorlaxer, saying, can't wait for your next episode, watching this and loving it. Hey, awesome. Yes, well, once a week, and if I actually do manage to finish recording First Gen Pokemon, like, all the way to the end, and I have the finale, I'm done, there's nothing more to record, I can consider uploading more than one a week. But I would have to actually have it finished, because yeah, I do not want to have to rush myself even more than I feel like I am right now. And then, Wei Chun, also on, the same PokeTalk, Wei Chun says, will you ever evolve your Pokemon? With Snorlaxer saying, I believe he's having all of his Pokemon evolve around the same time, or it's for quicker learn sets. You're almost there. I believe it was either the first or the second PokeTalk. It's been so damn long since I recorded that. Not as long since I uploaded, but been a very long time since I even recorded that. I want to register all 151 Pokemon into the Hall of Fame. Not just on the cartridges, but also on the Stadium, which, actually, in my timeline, I've pretty much done all Stadium. The only one Pokemon I'm missing is Mewtwo, mainly thanks to rentals and a handful of Pokemon that I had, mostly unevolved, and some just one state, no evolution at all. But yeah, like I said, I want to register all 151 Pokemon into the Hall of Fame, and eventually there will be evolutions as I am fighting against the Elite Four. Then Snorlaxer on Thoughtful Thursday 9, Petty Revenge Story, saying, another great video. Well, glad you enjoyed it. And thank you for the comment. Then also Snorlaxer on Pokemon First Gen episode 26, getting into place, saying, woot, we're on our way to Lavender Town. Yeah, the first visit to Lavender Town is more or less just passing through. Cause I said on Wild Wednesday that would have just gone up. The initial stop through Lavender Town is really just passing through, because you can't even go up and catch a Cubone. Period. You can fight the rival, you can fight all the channelers, but everything that pops up is just a ghost without the self scope. and eventually make my way back to Lavender Town to catch Ghastly and Cubone and get the Pokeflute and be able to move on from there. Okay, so now we have a well, okay, the handle says Hi Snowball, but the profile itself says Hi Nuyen on what is it? Pokemon First Gen Episode 26, Getting into Place, with Hi Snowball, Hi Nuyen saying, very cool. Hey, thank you for the comment, and hope you stick around because yeah, there's still quite a bit to go. Then I see Roserod on, what was it? Oh yeah, Pokemon First Gen Episode 27, almost ready for the next grind, saying, I like this series. Hey, thank you. Yes, and I do recognize you. Looks like you're probably caught up by the time this comes out, but yeah, I hope you stick around. I hope you stay for, well, a while. Yeah, I may be catching up, but there's still a lot of content to go. Okay, yeah. Joining into the fun is Shiori on Pokemon First Gen Episode 27, almost ready for the next grind, saying Zomari will be a huge game changer with his speed. Yes, that is, well, honestly, I don't know who has more base speed, unevolved Voltorb or Tauros, because, well, yeah, in my timeline, I already have Tauros, and I'm kicking ass with him, as well as the unevolved Voltorb. But hey, at least with the PokeTalk, which was shortly after this, Voltorb got the Thunderbolt TM that I got from Lieutenant Surge. So at least Voltorb will have an electric attack. Even if just one, at least it's there. Then, Pokemon First Gen Episode 28. I fully admit to being wrong. And of course, that's in reference to I thought I could catch an Onix with Yellow just in the main entry of Rock Tunnel. Turns out I would have to go to the basement, which by the time this comes out, that's already taken care of. Yeah, and, well, on that episode, Wei Chun says Wonder Rice is a good name. Yeah, I mean, hell, now, it was actually just recently I saw episode 99 of the original Dragon Ball, and I saw Tien do the extra arms out the back of his shoulder. If I had known Tien could do that, that's the name I would have given to Machop. But, well, yeah, that can potentially be a name for second gen. Yeah, okay, so last but definitely not least is, at least as of right now, as me recording this, there's 2 comments on First Gen Episode 29, slightly embarrassing. Snorlaxer saying, another amazing episode. Hey, thank you for that, thank you for the comments, and I do hope you're remembering to like the videos as well, because sometimes I'll see, 10 views, 10 likes, other times I'll see 20 views, 3 likes, and it's just... I'll get into that in just a moment. Because also, I see Roserod says, as always, another great episode by Jacaria. Would love to collab someday. Hey, yeah, absolutely. I would have to say maybe one day, though, because right here, right now, my life has just been an absolute, fustercluck, to put it lightly. Yeah, right now, probably as the time this comes out, because this is going to be this is going to be September's Thoughtful Thursday. Yeah, probably still not a good time, but maybe once, because, I am planning on moving. I'm not sure exactly when, once I actually find a decent place that I can afford and that will accept, one income for a 2 to 3 bedroom, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully, once everything around me changes, probably rearranged and done up differently, that will be the best time to do any kind of collaboration with, well, anyone. Yeah, If my life just wasn't such a fustercluck right now, then I would say yes, absolutely, right now, let's do it. But yeah, well, I'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully in the near future. Now, before ending this, I do have to ask: is someone shadow banned from leaving comments? I mean, I've noticed it specifically on two different occasions. A video will go up and there's a comment, but neither from YouTube where I can watch the video or from the studio side of things, nothing shows that there's a comment. But on the preview, it'll say like, oh hey, so many views, so many likes, one comment, and then that comment is just blank. Or rather, the comment doesn't exist. Now, I realize that that YouTube's official statement would be that no one is actually shadow banned. But here's the thing: whenever I upload a video, I always allow all comments. I don't restrict comments. And the thing is, if there's a comment but nothing is actually showing, what in the hell's going on? Yeah, but here's the thing: whenever, well, not all the time, but sometimes when I get a new subscriber, I'll get a notification that says, hey, someone new just subscribed. Like I said, I don't always get a notification because most people keep their subscriptions private. Hell, fair enough, I do as well. But whenever I get a comment, I get a drop-down notification that says, oh hey, someone left a comment, here's what it says. Sometimes I'll give it a quick look and just, okay, someone left a comment, I'm busy doing stuff in my real life, I'll look at that another time. Then I come back, I'll look at it, and it's just, oh hey, it's different from what the notification says because someone edited their comment. Okay, so I don't get a notification when someone edits their comment. Fair enough. But I did immediately get a notification, and it dropped down on my mobile device saying that someone left a comment. So how is it that someone leaves a comment and deletes it in the split second it would take before I actually get the notification that someone left a comment? So either someone is shadow banned or something else is going on. Yeah, and if you are the one who is shadow banned from leaving comments, trust me, it's not me. Hell, I even go into the studio on my computer, go into the comment section and see if any are actually held for review, just in case I accidentally did restrict comments onto the video. And no, that area is completely blank. So just so you know, it's not me, it's YouTube. Yeah, so, with all that said and done, let me just end this. So, yeah, I don't know what I'll do for my next Thoughtful Thursday. I'll probably do another subreddit reading, which if there's a particular subreddit you want me to read, or hell, just any topic for a Thoughtful Thursday, anything goes, put it in the comment section down below. If I can talk about it for at least a few minutes, I'll do a future Thoughtful Thursday on it. I'll see you there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And of course, have fun.